some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Fighting Irish, South Bend, Indiana, beneath the Golden Dome and Notre Dame Stadium. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the LSU Tigers, taking on the 13th-ranked team in the land, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Notre Dame looking for a strong kick to get this one underway. On the run from inside his own 5. So LSU's offense will get the ball first. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Wants to throw. It's Sanders. The short hands. It's Parker. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Wants to fire on second down. With the catch, it's Sampson. They get him out of bounds, couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling. Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. The option look. Look out, he's got room. There he goes. Nice job to keep it himself, find the first down marker, and move the change for this offense. LSU with the 1st and 10 here. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down. LSU doing what it always does when they're really good, moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, trying to find that physical. They get so many great players across the country. LSU has the pick of people in Louisiana. Everybody wants to come there, and you can tell they always find great talent, and they're always able to run the football.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down. They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0.
Man, these late-night crowds are so much fun. They're so into it, so much energy in this building. And the visiting team drives down the field. Tell you what, drive stalls out a little bit, but they quieted this place a little bit by getting 3 and starting this game off on the right foot.
So Notre Dame's offense will go to work for the first time. And Jesse, if there is an old warhorse, a real war daddy in the training facility, here he is, back to run the show again.
That's a great point, and there is no substitute for experience. There is a lot of expectation for this football team and for this offense because of that guy and because of all the big stages and all the big moments he's already played through in his career. A lot of people really excited, David, because he has seen a lot of ball.
All the ball, all the defenses, has rid the emotion of being really high and really low. And so those experience, those scars, they matter. They trust in him, and everybody on this offense is looking to him.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Motion from the back. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Caught in the backfield, it's Young. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Guys, let's take a step back and talk about Notre Dame. They had some holes to fill on the roster. They've gone into the portal. They brought in a pretty decent haul. How good do you think this staff feels right now addressing those areas of need, David?
Well, I think you feel really good about bringing in quality depth, experience depth. But now the trick is to merge it with your other guys and everybody get on the same page, you know, and moving in the same direction.
The coaching staff is so excited, too. They feel like if they can stay healthy, they can take an extra step versus where they were a year ago because of these new bodies they found through the portal.
Makes a move. He's going to get loose. They won't get him. It's a touchdown.
And I tell you what, this offense, man, we got a small sample size. We only had one game where they were unbelievable last game, but another score early in this football game. This offense is looking like a force to be reckoned with.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here come the Irish back on offense. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. They'll start this drive going to the air. Catch in the middle, it's Williams. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are, guys.
And the intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time in late in the season.
They're going to try to throw for it on third down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. He might just try to keep it away from this guy after a house call came after the first punt. Catches it at the 30. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They built a quick double-digit lead now to try to get this offense really humming. On the run, it's Berry. Oh, he's got some space. And he was off to the races, finally tripped up at the 36. The Tigers, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Got a man, it's Duff. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He's in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him. Put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
Dropping back, it's Sanders. That's caught. It's Berry. He's run out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the 26.
Man, this guy's going to need some water when he gets to the sidelines. They've been putting him to work on this drive, right? We've seen him toting the rock with success. Now you're seeing him get involved in the passing game, too. They are highlighting his versatility here on this drive.
Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
One thing this team has shown early this year, it does not take them long to find their footing. They get off to fast starts. That was critical for them winning their first game, and you've seen it here in this one too. They show up ready to go. There's no sleepwalking. I think you got to give this coaching staff a ton of credit for putting their players in good positions to have success.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Notre Dame has made this second down play much more difficult after going backwards. Wants to go up top. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
I know that one falls incomplete, but I love the idea of finding ways to get this running back the ball, right? You can hand it off to him. He's got really good hands. Already has a few catches in this game. I think you keep trying to leak him out of the backfield and let him take advantage of this defense throwing the ball.
Notre Dame comes to the line needing a chunk play on third down. The snap sets up to throw. Setting up the screen. No siree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one. The Irish send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. This is just what they wanted. A quick start, a 17-0 lead, and now they have the ball back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Motion from the wide receiver. Back to throw, it's Sanders. Pulls it in, it's Berry. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
On the option. He'll toss it. Breaks into the open. Touchdown, Tigers. Excellent pass by the back on the option.
Well, I know it's a very small sample size, and we've got a lot of football to go this year, but what can you say about this offense? How explosive and impressive they look. Top 5 in the nation in scoring, and you can see why. They've got speed and playmakers all over the field.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Irish back on offense. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Pulls it in. It's Gilbert. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
Under fire. And here's a fumble way behind the line. Now look what I found. I'd say that's a stroke of good fortune. The offense keeps it. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. Notre Dame has made this second down play much more difficult after going backwards. Looking to fire. Bought a little time, lets it go. The sure hands, it's Gilbert. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
It's a nice job running the in route there by the receiver, and the best thing he did after he made his break, he didn't trail and fade away. He actually attacked the football. That's a good lesson for young receivers out there watching.
The Irish facing quite a challenge here on 3rd and a mile. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Brings it down on the right side. He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. They'll go back to the ground. Fights off a defender. Couldn't really get started there. Pickup of 1 to the 35.
Man, a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Finds his man. It's Richardson. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. The Irish trying to keep this drive moving on 3rd and short. Grabbed in the middle. It's Larson. Just outside the red zone as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 22.
Obviously, great job picking up the first down there through the air, but you're trailing by a lot of points now, and you're in that area of the field where you should take a shot. If I was the offensive coordinator, I'd be thinking about throwing this next one into the end zone and trying to cut into the lead.
Got his man quickly. And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. First play of the period will be a 2nd down. Wide receiver comes in motion. From the gun, the running back has it. Breaks the tackle. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
This offense has been sluggish, to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Caught behind the line. It's Young. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Back to pass on 2nd down. He wants it all. Throw to the end zone. It's picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception. So the offense, more than happy with the result of the play, will decline the penalty. Bunch formation for these receivers. With the catch, it's done. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3. That's caught. It's Clark. Turning it on. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29. Let's see if they can put the defense on its heels in 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Berry. Cross the 30 to the 35, and that's a gain of 6.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Tigers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Gets the back moving. Wide receiver going in motion. To the air. It's Sanders. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this defense had some matchups they felt really good about up front. They won one right there, getting to the quarterback, creating a negative play. And they're going to need these guys to start winning more of those because they are finding themselves in a hole here early in the game.
He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down. This is a designed run. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, how's that for being aggressive? Early in the game, 4th down, in your own territory, and you go for it. And then your offense is able to come up with the big play, generate a ton of momentum, and stay on the field. That is impressive.
This defense has got to be better in coverage. You want to get off the field, you got to keep defending. You got to do something to make the offense feel uncomfortable. So far, way too easy for this offense.
And the Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man downfield. Touchdown, Tigers. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. If these guys wanted to make a statement, statement has been delivered.
It's your job to stop them. Oh, don't run the score up. Well, do something about it. The defense has to step up and make plays. Obviously, they're not willing to do that, so just keep running plays and keep scoring.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions, but I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
The Irish come to the line facing 2nd and short. They go right back to him. And he's very fortunate to get it back to the line of scrimmage, greeted by a sea of defenders. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Notre Dame. You start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time. The number beside your name doesn't matter right now. The number matters late in the season. So you want to start the season fast. You want to be gelling on offense and on defense. I think that's the challenge early here.
Absolutely. Figuring out who you are. Obviously some talented...
There he goes. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the...
Throws toward the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Irish! They went for it all, and it paid off with the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You get.
And now on the pitch, he's loose on the right. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. How about this defense taking one back to the house? After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into them.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. They'll run the option. Now the toss. Slithers into space. And he caught that pitch in stride and was off to the races. A big gain and a first down for this offense. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Looking to throw, it's Sanders. He lobs one high down the left side. Makes the grab inside the 30. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, LSU.
When these offenses get in a rhythm, they're hard to stop. Already up early, got a short field, take advantage of it too, get another touchdown. This offense is doing whatever they want to do and having a lot of success.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. Appalachian State is down, but they are not out of it. Not inside Kid Brewer Stadium, one of the best home field advantages in all of college football. They're trailing by 13 to Boise State. We'll circle back if anything big happens you should know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Here come the Irish back on offense. They've got a long road ahead of them if they want to get back into this game, but they have to get to work on this drive. Rides to back on the option, the give. At the 35, he's open. He'll work and weave his way all the way up to the 45 before going out of bounds.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches today.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? The play action fake. Quickly out to the tight end. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line, but not before getting it into opponent territory.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Special teams proving to be special. That return man saw daylight the instant the ball touched his hands, and he darted to it and took it to the house.
And, Reese, I think it's one of the hardest things to do in football, to catch the ball as all these guys are flying around you, and you got to take it, make them miss, try to find spaces and creases that aren't there. Great job making a huge play. Special teams and punt returns coming up big.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hole.
Notre Dame trying to keep this drive moving on 2nd and short. They'll move the tight end. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Caught near the sticks. It's Gilbert. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down. Notre Dame right back to the line. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Gilbert.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
Wants to throw it. Caught close to the marker. It's Gilbert. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. They recover their own fumble. Somehow, who knows how they got that thing back. This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. Here's the heat.
Man, there are defensive players out there that can just take games over, and that's what's happening with this guy right now. He is not cooperating with the offensive game plan. A sack on 2 consecutive plays, and now on 3rd down, you know he's pinning his ears back again.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. He did not make it a stone wall on 3rd down. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. And that one will bounce and roll out of bounds. Let's see exactly where they mark it. Quarterback by himself in the backfield. Looking downfield, it's Sanders. Got it in the middle, it's Parker. Inside the 25, stopped at the 24. Clock will stop to move the chains. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. To the air on 1st down. That's caught, it's Duff. He's down to the 38-yard line, and they can stop the clock. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Looking to throw on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Wants to throw. They'll have to be efficient against the clock. Fires to the wideout. Got a man. It's Clark. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. Wants to go up top on 1st down. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they make the play to stop the scoring opportunity just before the end of the half.
Well, the defense came into this one knowing they needed to create takeaways to try to gain as much momentum as they could. Really nice interception on that play. Great job with the eyes by the defender there picking that off.
Looking downfield on 1st down. Pressure coming. Lets it fly deep downfield. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone. And the defender is tackled, and that's how we'll run out the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
And it should come as no surprise that we have ourselves a fun matchup in South Bend. And it's clear the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first 2 quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half. With that said, let's send it back to the fellas there in the shadows of touchdown Jesus.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here come the Irish, back on offense. Got blown out in the first half and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the third quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. You just need one thing to go right for this offense to start to build that momentum.
Oh, he's got some space. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
It's so challenging to stop the middle of the field passes deep down. You stretch me in these zones. I got to run with you in man. It's always a good idea to run those deep posts, and you can tell they saw it all the way. Receiver, quarterback on same page, gets the big touchdown.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they'd get him on the ground at the 20. Using his legs, it's Berry. Picks up the first down, still moving. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now first down from the 39. The give to the back. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. The inside handoff. Fighting off the defender. And what moves this guy has. The jukes, the wiggles, the squirts just went right past him and picked up the first down. LSU getting set on 1st and 10. Lewis wants to pass. He's going to throw deep right side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. So now it's 2nd and long. Off play action. Throws to the wideout. Working on the right. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the third quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige when you've got the playmakers you have offensively. Just keep chucking it.
The Tigers started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Wants to go up top. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver is going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Grab near the marker. It's Sampson. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. And they take it in for 6 more points.
And another good touchdown drive by this offense. And how about the start to the season? Blowout win in game 1. Blowout win looking like in game 2. This unit's clicking. They're looking like a team that will be reckoned with when the playoffs start late in the year.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. Leaves it with the back. Forges ahead. Picks up about 3 to the 29.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Looking to fire. Fires one high and deep. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
Here comes the heat. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. The Irish send out the punt unit. We've seen a lot of the punt team 6th time tonight. Catches here, looking for room. Coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening, run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense that last drive, too, on that touchdown. Everybody on the same page. These guys have repped these plays over and over in practice and in games, and it's working, Dave.
Yeah, so I got to find a way to disrupt it. I got to find a way to maybe be more aggressive, maybe.
Breaks into the open. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
And some room to work. Got enough for the first. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
And I love how this offensive coordinator uses all of his playmakers and all of the speed. This is a guy that we've seen hurt defenses before catching the football, but you can get him involved in the running game as well with the option play. You get him on the perimeter. He's the pitch man. Nobody accounting for him. It's an easy walk-in score for the offense.
Here come the Irish back on offense. They went 3 and out last time. Now they'll look for some plays that work. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's Gilbert. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in route there.
This is where you make the money on the drives. Ball at the 30. It's 3rd and short. From the gun. Wants to pass. Grabbed over the middle. It's Richardson. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
This Notre Dame offense carving it up. They're working with another first down. Looking to throw on first down. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Man, this quarterback is going to need an ice bath when this game is over because he is getting whacked. We've seen him go down. He's been sacked time and time again. He just got nailed another time on that last play. He can't wait for this game to be over.
Tough sledding there as he picks up 1 to the 29.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Caught near the sticks. It's Gilbert. This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down. The Irish trying to strike gold in this red zone trip. Looking for room. It's Young. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just nowhere to run. Not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Quickly complete. He'll be run out of bounds at the 13.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
They want to continue this long drive. 9th play coming. It's 3rd and 5. From the gun, wants to pass. And they can't make the play on 3rd down.
They've done a nice job marching the football down the field to get into this position in the red zone. You throw an incomplete on 3rd down, so the question now, are you going for a touchdown, try to pay this drive off, or are you just going to take the points?
It's good, and that... Dead solid perfect. And they'll put 3 on the board, but the deficit remains huge. After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. And he's not going to take the touchback. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. To the ground with the back. Getting that push, a pickup of 4 out to the 26. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Motion from the wideout. They'll run play action. Takes a hit as he fires. Complete downfield. They get him out of bounds, couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling. They're going to run it to the right. Finding open areas. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.
What a run, man. I tell you what, it's hard to pop runs. It's hard to get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards a lot of times. But when you got backs like this who can make huge plays with the speed, getting out in the open field.
Throws toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Tigers.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. And we're taking shots. We need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
They'll need to show urgency to get another play off before the clock hits 0. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the fourth quarter. We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this third down play. They'll send the tight end in motion. On third down, he drops to throw. Grab near the marker. It's Williams. Working their way closer and closer. A third down conversion, and they've got it at the 26.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our...
Turning it on! They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one.
I know we're a long way up here in the booth, but guys, y'all remember that ball you could throw that whistled? That thing was whistling. It had so many RPMs on it.
Notre Dame ready to go back to work with another first down. Corners right up on that line of scrimmage. Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. Second and goal for the offense. Looking to fire. Touchdown, Irish! Quick strike through the air for the score.
With that last touchdown now, they're trying to create some momentum. They're trying to avoid starting the season 0-1. They know they've got a lot of work to do here in the second half, but you should be feeling pretty good about that last score. Now you've got to keep that up.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. Gets it across the 30 to the 31. Nice pickup on the return there. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
An explosive run, and he gets it all the way up to the 50-yard line before going out of bounds. They've got it first and 10 at the 50. The give to the tailback. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Fires to the tight end. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Got a man in the middle. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. Down to the 18-yard line, it's 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Tight end finds a soft spot. Stopped at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal. And the Tigers had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. Making side adjustments here. Trying play action. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. He wants to start this drive with a pass. And he throws another interception, his third of the night. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. This offense has it with really good field position. The pull and throw off the RPO. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Lewis to throw. Caught over the middle. It's Clark. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Tigers come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Throws to the back. Picked off inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat.
Never say die attitude, and I love that, especially these young players, because they're out there competing. And I know the scoreboard right now doesn't look pretty. They're not going to come back and win this football game, but I just love kids that are competing until there's zeros on the clock.
Bringing the heat, and he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, and this defense just putting the cherry on top of the sundae. They've been all over the place. They've done a great job. Their offense has built a huge lead. We're just counting down the minutes on the clock now.
And man, oh man, he is in the dark tonight. His 4th interception. And with the interception, he'll take it all the way back. Touchdown, LSU.
Dude, you didn't think it could get any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here come the Irish back on offense. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week. Unloads to the wideout. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Fires to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Richardson. They'll get the 1st down. It's spotted on the 49.
You know, the defense doesn't have an answer for this slot guy right now. They may want to think about bracketing him, having a defender play to the outside and to the inside. Probably some sort of zone coverage where you're trying to get 2 bodies, forcing the quarterback to have to go somewhere else with the ball.
They run him out of bounds. He gets him to the 47.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run. This guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
Looking to throw again. Finds his tight end. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
Grab near the sticks. It's Young. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs. This Notre Dame offense carving it up. They're working with another 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Throws to the tight end. Got his man. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17. Notre Dame coming to the line with another first down.
Well, we knew this quarterback could put up some monster numbers. He is putting on a clinic in this game. He now has over 400 yards passing.
Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Give to the back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's incomplete, and the defense comes up with a stop.
Listen, with the aggressiveness of offenses and taking chances, a lot of times it's going to put your defense in a hole. And this defense is going to have to come through in the clutch right here because you're trailing. They can't get more scores. They got to get a stop on this possession, and the offense is going to have to do better than they just did.
The give as they work on that clock. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. They'll give it to Johnson. There he goes. He'll get it out to the 25, not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. They'll give it to him again. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line.
And how good does that feel, right? You've got the lead in the fourth quarter. The defense knows you're going to try to run the ball to ice the game, and you rip off an 8-yard run. They know it's coming, and they still can't stop it.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Lewis wants to pass. Finds a tight end. Still on his feet at the 45. Knocked out of bounds after a good gain on that one. They'll spot it at the 43. From the 44-yard line, the offense snaps it on first down. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. To the air on second down. Rush is on him. He's got him. On the move at the 30. And this defense was flailing as he weaved his way and got down to the 26. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19. LSU quick to the line. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. From here, it would just be a 30-yard field goal try. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be to try to pick up that first down. They'll move the wide receiver. On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on.
Hold.
Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Ninth play of the drive coming up, but this one will be tough. Third and long. Lewis to throw. Deep shot for the end zone. And trying to put points on the board on third down. Now they're staring at fourth down. And they'll send the field goal team back out for the second time tonight. He boomed it through. A 50-yard field goal showing off that powerful leg. That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we're looking pretty good.
They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. A deep throw as the clock winds down. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man, doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
That pass is well off target. Hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down. Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. They'll bring him down. The clock is at 0, and that is how this one will wrap up. I know both of these teams were ranked, guys, but it really seemed as if they weren't on the same level in this game.
I think that was a pretty good statement game for these guys. I mean, you're ranked higher, you're more talented. A lot of people point to this game. Possible upset, two really good teams. Jesse, they made it clear